You know, you might be surprised how quickly things are evolving in the automotive world these days.
Oh, definitely.
One minute, a car or truck feels like it's always been there, and, well, the next, it's making its final appearance.
Yeah.
So today on the deep dive, we're going to put a spotlight on the vehicles, cars, trucks, SUVs, that manufacturers have decided won't be part of their lineup for the 2025 model year. Think of this as maybe your express lane to understanding the big changes happening on the road next year.
Right. And it gives some context if maybe a favorite model of yours is on this list.
Exactly.
And it's really fascinating to see the different factors leading to these decisions.
Yeah.
For listeners, I think understanding these reasons gives a real insight into where the whole industry is heading.
Like what?
Well, we're seeing major players actively shifting towards EVs, obviously. Strategically streamlining their offerings too, to meet changing demands.
Okay.
And then, of course, some models are just, reaching the end of a successful run, sometimes a really long run.
Absolutely. It's definitely more than just vehicles disappearing. Each one kind of tells a story, doesn't it? About where things are and where they're going.
Precisely.
So we've sifted through the details to bring you the most important and, frankly, some pretty interesting aspects of these departures.
Yeah, there are some good stories here.
So whether you're a dedicated car enthusiast or maybe just trying to stay informed, this should give you a richer understanding of what's shaping the vehicles you'll be seeing or, not seeing on the market soon.
Okay, where should we start? Alfa Romeo.
Sounds good. Alfa Romeo, what's happening there?
Okay, so for anyone who appreciates those high-performance gasoline engines, it's worth noting that after 2024, Alfa Romeo will stop producing the Giulia Quadrifoglio and the Stelvio Quadrifoglio with those gas engines.
Ah, the Quadrifolios. And for folks familiar with them, they know the kind of performance we're talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, that thing boasted, 505 horsepower? Seriously impressive.
It is. A lot of muscle in an SUV package.
But is the Quadrifoglio badge gone for good, that clover?
Well, maybe not. If you're a fan of that iconic clover badge, there's some optimism. Larry Dominique, who heads up Alfa in North America, he's indicated we might see a return.
Oh, on what?
Possibly on future electric or hybrid performance models.
Yeah.
So while the gas era for these specific cars is ending, the performance legacy, it might continue, just in a different form.
Interesting. Okay, moving on, what about Audi?
Audi looks like they're simplifying their A5 lineup quite a bit for 2025.
How so?
The A5 Coupe and the Cabriolet are being discontinued.
Ah, okay. So for people who like those sleek two-door designs, that's a shift.
It is. The new A5 sedan will basically be the only body style available going forward.
Wow.
And what's also pretty significant, especially for Audi fans, is that the A5 Cabriolet going away means, Audi won't offer any convertibles anymore.
No convertibles from Audi at all, for now anyway.
At least for the time being, yeah. And it kind of reflects that broader trend. Coupes and convertibles, their sales are declining as people keep buying more SUVs and practical sedans.
Right. Makes sense, I suppose. Okay, BMW. Anything happening there?
Well, BMW isn't officially confirming it yet, but all the signs are pointing towards the likely discontinuation of the X3M.
The performance version of the X3. Okay, that could be notable for people who like that BMW driving dynamic in an SUV.
Exactly. And if you look at BMW's overall strategy, this potential move really aligns with their big push towards electric vehicles.
Ah, so you think an electric replacement?
The expectation is they'll focus on all-electric performance SUV, probably badged something like the iX3M or similar. That seems to be the future for X3 performance.
Okay.
And this isn't totally out of the blue. This direction was kind of signaled in reports back in, I think, 2022. So it's been anticipated.
Gotcha. Now let's talk about a really different kind of car, Bugatti Chiron.
Oh, the Chiron, yes.
Its production run is coming to an end. For anyone following hypercars, that's a big moment.
It really is. What's interesting here is that its 8-year run ends just as its successor, the Tourbillon, is being introduced. So perfect timing, really.
8 years. And it had quite a journey, didn't it? Lots of special editions.
Oh, absolutely. Pushing boundaries constantly.
Yeah.
And of course, it famously hit that top speed, 304.8 miles per hour. Held the world record for a bit.
Incredible. And that engine?
Don't forget the engine. That insane W16 engine. 16-cylinder marvel of engineering, truly.
Yeah. Okay, back down to earth a bit. Chevrolet, they seem to be making some pretty significant portfolio changes.
They are. For 2025, the Camaro nameplate it's being discontinued entirely.
Wow. The Camaro. For anyone with history with that iconic American muscle car, that's huge news.
It is. The very last 6th-gen Camaro actually rolled off the line back in December 2023.
You know what the last one was?
Interestingly, yeah, it was a top-spec ZL1 1LE model, manual transmission, 650 horsepower. Quite a send-off.
Definitely. But people might still find some.
Possibly. If you're still hoping to grab one, there might be some leftover 2024 models sitting on dealer lots. Worth checking.
Okay. And Chevy's not done, right? Another long-standing nameplate is returned.
That's right, the Malibu sedan.
The Malibu, another casualty for traditional midsize sedans?
Yeah, the Malibu has a really long history. This 9th generation has been around for nearly 9 years. Production officially stopped in November 2024.
Why this one? Just slow sales.
Partly, maybe, but the decision is reportedly driven by Chevy's strategy to free up production capacity for a new generation of the Bolt EV.
Ah, so making way for electric. Another example.
Exactly. Highlights their commitment to electrification.
Okay, let's shift to Italy again. Ferrari, they always seem to have models reaching the end of their cycles.
They do. It's just the nature of their business, keeping things fresh and exclusive.
So what's ending now?
Well, the 812 GTS, which used to be the super fast, remember, its production ended in Q2 2024. Had a good 7-year run, which is pretty long for them.
Right. Anything else?
The Ferrari Roma Coupe also stopped production around the same time.
But the convertible stays.
The Roma Spider continues, yes. And also the SF90, their hybrid hypercar, that production run has ended too, with a new flagship arriving.
But didn't they just announce a more extreme SF90?
They did. For those seeking the absolute ultimate, the more hardcore SF90 XX version, that will remain in production.
Okay, got it. Now, different kind of story, and unfortunately, not a happy one. Fisker.
Yeah, Fisker. For anyone following the new EV manufacturers, this is a pretty significant development.
What happened?
Sadly, they faced major financial problems and ended up filing for bankruptcy in June 2024.
Oh, wow. So the Ocean SUV?
As a direct result, yeah, production of the Fisker Ocean electric SUV has stopped. It's done.
Is there any silver lining?
Maybe a small one. If you happen to find any unsold 2023 models out there, they might be available at considerably lower prices. Could be a unique opportunity for some buyers, maybe.
Interesting gamble, though.
Definitely a gamble. And the whole situation just underscores the huge challenges new players face in the EV market. It's tough.
Yeah, seems like it. Okay, Infiniti. What's going on with them?
Infiniti is also making some strategic adjustments. They're discontinuing the Q50 sedan after the 2024 model year.
The Q50. For people who liked a traditional luxury sedan from Infiniti, that's the end of an era for the brand, isn't it?
It really is. What's particularly notable is that the Q50 was their last remaining sedan.
No more sedans from Infiniti.
Nope. The brand has stated their future focus will be squarely on crossovers and SUVs, just following the market demand, basically.
Right, more SUVs. Okay, now, Jaguar. Wow, they're undergoing a really significant transformation, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Dramatic is the word. And their 2025 lineup really shows it.
How so? What's left?
For 2025, Jaguar's lineup is drastically reduced. It features just one model, the F-Pace SUV.
Just the F-Pace, that's it.
That's it. It clearly signals their imminent shift to becoming an all-electric brand.
They've shown some concepts, right?
Yeah, they unveiled the Type 00, which is the first model in their new EV family. It's a glimpse of their future design, future tech.
So this huge shift means saying goodbye to, well, almost everything else.
Pretty much. We're saying farewell to several models.
Yeah.
The E-Pace SUV, which maybe never quite caught on strongly.
Okay.
The F-Type sports car, beautiful car, had a good 10-year run, nicely honored the old E-Type.
Sad to see that one go.
Yeah. Then there's the electric I-Pace. Its production just ended, and it'll basically be succeeded by that new Type 00.
Right.
The XE compact luxury sedan, maybe a bit underrated, had some interesting engine options, even that wild XE project date.
Chiron.
And finally, the XF, Jaguar's biggest sedan, offered various engines. So yeah, it's a complete overhaul as they go all in on electric.
Wow. Okay, Jeep enthusiasts, quick note on the Gladiator pickup.
Right. Good news and bad news, maybe.
The nameplate isn't going anywhere, right?
Correct. The Gladiator name continues, but a specific feature is being dropped for 2025 for those who like a hands-on driving experience.
Let me guess. The manual transmission.
You got it. Jeep has decided to discontinue the manual transmission option for the 2025 Gladiator.
So if you want to row your own gears in a Gladiator, you need an older model year.
Exactly. Look for a 24 or earlier.
Okay. Lamborghini, also saying farewell to a big model.
Yeah, a remarkably successful one. The Huracan.
The Huracan. It played a huge role in their sports car lineage, didn't it?
Absolutely. A very successful 10-year production run. And it actually became Lamborghini's best-selling sports car ever.
Best-selling ever. Wow.
Yeah, its success was a key reason Lamborghini hit record sales in 2023.
So what replaces it?
It'd be replaced by the new Temerario. So the tradition of V10 or maybe V8 hybrid Lambo sports cars continues.
Good to know. All right, Maserati. Also seems like they're streamlining things.
They are. Several models aren't making the jump to 2025. For fans of Italian luxury and performance, these changes reflect Maserati's evolving strategy.
Okay, which ones are out?
The Ghibli sedan. After 11 years, it's discontinued.
11 years. Okay.
Also, production of the Levante SUV ended back in March 2024.
So what are they focusing on now?
These decisions are part of their plan to concentrate on their newer models.
Yeah.
The MC20 supercar, the Grecale SUV, and the Gran Turismo.
Right. Anything else leaving?
Yes, Quattroporte sedan. It's been in its current generation for over 10 years. That's also being discontinued.
And doesn't that mean something else significant is ending with it?
It does, actually. This discontinuation also marks the end of Maserati's acclaimed V8 engine.
No more Maserati V8s.
Apparently not. The final V8-powered Maserati is the special edition Quattroporte Grand Finale. End of an era for them, too.
Okay, let's talk Mitsubishi. Reportedly discontinuing one of their most budget-friendly cars.
Yes, both versions, actually. The hatchback and the sedan versions of the Mitsubishi Mirage.
The Mirage. For people looking for really affordable basic transport, the options are shrinking a bit.
They are. Both variants are expected to be discontinued at the end of 2024.
Why? Just not selling.
Well, it has been one of the cheapest new cars in America, that's true. But its platform is pretty old, performance is sluggish, hasn't really translated into strong sales lately.
Gotcha. Okay. Mini. Saying goodbye to one of their more unique offerings.
Yeah, the Clubman.
The Clubman. The one with the split rear doors, right?
Yeah.
Bit more practical.
Exactly. That distinctive wagon-like design. It won't be part of the lineup after the 2024 model year.
Any special send-off?
Mini is offering a limited run, fewer than 100 units actually, of a final edition in the US for 2024. A last hurrah for the Clubman, at least for now.
Fewer than 100. Wow, that's exclusive. Okay, Nissan. They have a couple of significant departures, right? Including a real icon.
A true icon, yes. The Nissan GT-R.
The GT-R. For anyone who follows Japanese performance cars, this is major news for the US market.
Absolutely. After a long and, let's face it, celebrated run in the US since the R35 arrived back in 2009, official production for the US market stops in October 2024.
Are they doing anything special to mark the end?
They are. Nissan's commemorating its departure with special Skyline Edition and Takumi Edition trims. Nice nods to its rich heritage.
Good. What else from Nissan?
The Nissan Titan pickup truck is also being discontinued.
Titan? Why that one?
Primarily due to lower sales figures. It's a hugely competitive segment of the full-size pickup market, and the Titan just struggled to capture enough share.
Right. Okay, now, something specific for our listeners in Europe regarding Porsche.
Yes, this is an interesting one tied to regulations.
Okay.
In Europe, Porsche is discontinuing the 718 Boxster and Cayman models.
Why? Not selling well.
No, it's because they won't meet the EU's general safety regulation. Specifically, new cybersecurity standards that kick in from July 2024.
Cybersecurity standards for cars, wow. But what about the US?
Crucially for US listeners, these models will remain available in the States for at least another year.
Until the electric versions arrive.
Exactly. Until the new EVs are ready. Porsche has said they don't currently plan a new internal combustion version of the Boxster Cayman for Europe on the existing platform.
Fascinating. A regulatory kill-off, essentially, in Europe. Okay, Ram trucks. Some adjustments there too, including a very powerful one leaving.
Yes. For fans of high-performance trucks, these are pretty significant changes.
What's first?
The previous generation Ram 1500, the one they've been selling as the Ram 1500 Classic, alongside the new one for, gosh, nearly 5 years now.
Right, the Classic.
That's finally being discontinued.
And that means no more Hemi in a Ram 1500.
It marks the end of the Hemi V8 availability within that specific Ram line of contents, yes.
Right.
Big change.
Definitely. And the other departure. The really powerful one.
That would be the Ram 1500 TRX.
Ah, the TRX.
Yeah, that high-performance beast is also being discontinued. It's being replaced by a new model called the RHO.
So that means the 702 horsepower supercharged truck is gone.
Gone from the U.S. market after this year, yeah. And remaining inventory is apparently limited, so if you want one, now's the time.
Wow. Okay, Toyota. They have a couple of models bowing out for 2025.
They do, including maybe a less popular version of a famous sports car.
Let me guess. The 4-cylinder Supra.
You got it. The 4-cylinder Toyota Supra is being discontinued ahead of the 2025 model year.
Why? Just didn't sell compared to the 6.
That seems to be the reason, yeah. Lower sales volumes compared to the more powerful and arguably more desirable 6-cylinder model. The 6-cylinder continues, though.
Good. What else from Toyota?
The Toyota Venza hybrid SUV.
The Venza. That came back relatively recently, didn't it?
It did. Built from 2020 to 2024 in its latest form. It's being discontinued, again, likely due to lower sales compared to the incredibly popular RV4 hybrid.
Makes sense. Is it being replaced?
Essentially, yes. Its spot in the lineup is being filled by the new Crown Signia SUV.
Ah, the Crown Signia. Okay. Now, looking even further ahead, you mentioned a preliminary list for 2026.
Yeah, just based on reports, so things could change. But it suggests that the pace isn't slowing down.
Who's potentially on the chopping block for 2026?
Okay, the list includes models like the Audi A4, BMW X4, and the 8 Series, Cadillac XT4, Ford Escape.
Good Escape. Interesting.
Several Mercedes Coupe models like the GLC Coupe and GLE Coupe from the Nissan Altima and Versa sedans.
More sedans gone.
Both Porsche 718 Boxster and Cayman, globally this time it seems. The Porsche Macan SUV, likely ahead of its electric replacement.
Right.
The Subaru Legacy sedan, and the Volvo S60 and S90 sedans.
Wow. That really underscores how fast the landscape is shifting.
It really does. And, it's always worth remembering that this info can be fluid in the auto world.
How so?
Well, in the comments on one source article, a reader pointed out potential inaccuracies about the Ford Escape and Maserati Ghibli timing for 2025. Maybe delays or just certain versions dropped.
Right.
But based on the main info we gathered, they were listed for 2025.
Yeah.
It just highlights how dynamic things are. You guys stay tuned.
Definitely. So, wrapping this up, as you can clearly see, the automotive landscape is really in a period of significant transition.
Yeah, real turning point.
We're seeing this big push towards electrification, obviously. Manufacturers strategically streamlining their lineups, getting more efficient, meeting those changing consumer tastes.
Right, focusing resources.
And just the constant ebb and flow of market demand taking its toll on some models.
Exactly. Hopefully this deep dive has given everyone a clearer picture of the vehicles leaving the market, but also those bigger trends driving the changes.
Yeah, it's not just a list of cars disappearing, is it?
Not at all. It's about understanding the strategies and the shifts within these major companies. That's what will ultimately shape the cars available to us in the next few years.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, what the roads will actually look like in just a few more years.
It does.
And maybe, were there any cars on this list today that you were surprised were even still around, or perhaps really sad to see finally go?
I bet listeners have some strong opinions on that.
No doubt. Well, the automotive world keeps moving, and we'll continue to be here, taking a deep dive into all the fascinating developments as they keep unfolding.